A total of 106,604 reported human rights abuses were recorded in the month of June alone. The rights abuses comprise 1,667 children abandonment and killing of 19 security personnel during the period. Executive Secretary of NHRC, Dr. Tony Ojukwu-San, who made this public at the 6th edition of the monthly Human Rights Dashboard of the Commission, said that the figure of the human rights abuses in Nigeria was the highest in the past 6 months. Ojukwu said that the increase was disturbing but not unexpected in view of the circumstances of the situation in the country. He called on the state governors to rise to the protection of fundamental rights of the citizens in their states, adding that the Commission itself would collaborate more with traditional rulers and civil society organizations to raise the campaign against human rights abuses. Ojukwu noted with regret the increase in the extrajudicial killing in the country, where he said Ebonyi and the Federal Capital Territory topped the list during the period. Given the breakdown of the reported 106,604 human rights abuses, the senior human rights advisor to the NHRC Executive Secretary, Hilary Ogbonna, explained that things are not going well in the country and that the increase in rights abuses called for more action. A cross-section of Lagos residents expressed their disappointment on the recurring fuel scarcity, while also calling on government to find a lasting solution. Our correspondent Nenwaran Gilmazaka has more in this report.
Fresh queues for premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, has resurfaced in Abuja, Lagos and other parts of the country. Motorists were seen struggling to purchase petrol. In Lagos, a growing number of private and commercial drivers were seen lined up for hours with uncertainty over supply as some stations ran out of fuel intermittently. The Major Energies Marketer Association of Nigeria has advised Nigerians not to engage in panic buying as the scarcity of the product was due to adverse weather and thunderstorm that delayed ship-to-ship transloading, berthing at jetties, truckload out and transportation of product to filling stations, thereby disrupting station supply logistics. Meanwhile, motorists expressed frustration over the situation, highlighting the challenges they face in accessing fuel for their vehicles.
I feel sad, but my own concern is that our government don't even have any solution. Because when President Tinubu was coming to power, we thought that things would change, but things have gone worse. Sorry to say.
Fuel scarcity again in Nigeria is uncalled for. Because when this government came into power, May 29, the president told us that first subsidy is gone, and with the going of first subsidy, there will be abundance of fuel all over Nigeria. But there have been a recording decimal. Why we have scarcity? Because of the subsidy of 18, which are including Buhari's regime. Understand? But he told us on the door of immigration that the first subsidy is gone. We are going to have fuel all over the place. Why we have scarcity now, nobody can explain.
In some states, prices of fuel surged, ranging between 800 naira and 900 naira per litre, significantly higher than the official pump price, which caused fluctuations in transport fares, with some transporters hiking the fares by around 20 to 30%.
I don't even know I'm going to get to. I want to go to Underbridge to go and keep for the fare in my car. Cannot take me because I live at Mowe. So I would like to get to Mowe with this tiny little friend. So I'm going to Underbridge to keep for fuel.
In some areas they say buy for a litre 1,000 naira, 850, 900. So in Lagos I can get maybe 600, 620, 630. But some other areas 750 per litre. And upon that we are still having scarcity.
Nenwarang Yilmazaka, Galaxy TV News.
To other matters, the federal government has issued 3 months ultimatum to contractors handling various projects across the country. The Minister of Work, David Umahi, handed down the deadline on Monday in Abuja while addressing contractors and controllers of work at the ministry. Correspondent Kuleoju completes the story.
The minister, while reviewing some of the projects approved by the present administration across the country, disclosed that the projects were approved in February this year. While expressing his displeasure regarding the pace of work, Umahi said only 2 out of the contractors have completed their jobs out of the 39 contractors, saying the action of the government is justified. He declared that the contractors are to move to site by Wednesday and should be ready to complete the projects in 3 months.
No one has said that these people have not gone to site. That is only 2 contractors that have completed their jobs out of this 39. The rest have not commenced work. So we are justified. And so we've given you Wednesday to commence work. We've given you 3 months to complete.
The minister declared that there will be no payment of mobilization anymore, except the contractors are ready to stick out their neck and provide affidavits, as well as the assurance that they are not going to run away. He emphasized the need for contractors to be transparent in their dealings, adding that the president is under serious pressure to perform. On his part, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Works, enjoined contractors to brace up and be sincere with the government regarding the projects at hand.
And the work must be completed in 3 months. If the works are not completed in 3 months, the jobs will be terminated. We have directed that no mobilization be paid, but that directive is still substantive, but we are going to amend it. If they want mobilization to be paid, let them bring their affidavits.
This project is being run at your backyard. We have a step and about the Nigerian nation. We don't have any other country like Nigeria. We are given these jobs. Some of us may have ulterior motives.
At the end of the interaction, all the contractors agreed to the ultimatum issued by the government. From Abuja, Kunle Ojo, Galaxy TV.
The federal government has emphasized power sufficiency as its major priority for rapid socio-economic development in Nigeria. The Deputy Senate President, Senator Jibrin Barau, made the disclosure on Monday in Abuja while receiving a consortium from the Republic of China alongside members of Senate Committee on Power. Correspondent Kuluju sent in this report.
Senator Barau said power generation, supply and distribution remain crucial to economic growth and development in Nigeria, stressing that the country would go all out to support an initiative in this regard. He also hinted that areas such as education, technology and health mentioned by the leader of the delegation in his remark are of interest to Nigeria.
Power is what we really need now in our country because the entire national focus, the #1 priority we have now is that of getting self-sufficiency in energy. So it is really delighting to us that power is part of your mission to our country.
The Deputy Senate President assured the delegation that the nation will be more willing to provide legislative support at the end of the day, approve budgetary allocation for the project after both countries have agreed on the project. The Chairman Senate Committee on Power, Senator Inaya Baribe, spoke on the relevance of the visit by the consortium, while the leader of the delegation disclosed that China would at all times be ready to support Nigeria in the area of power, education, technology and health.
And it's in this trajectory that we want you to come here and invest, and then probably not even probably, we feel it's part of a relationship, the relationship between our 2 countries, that you'll be able to transfer the technology of whatever you're going to do here to us, in the spirit of brotherhood and the sound relationship existing between our 2 countries.
Well, we're expecting that their investment, basically on solar power, and then helping us on the transmission lines in Nigeria, which is a very serious problem at the moment, that their investment in that area will upgrade our facilities and help us in resolving the power issues in Nigeria.
Of my visit, and also I think in the very future, I'd like to express your sincere and long-standing support and care for the enterprises and for the people who do in business in Nigeria, and also wish that you will provide even stronger and long-lasting concern and support for the development of our enterprises.
You'll still out to the news on Galaxy Television coming up next. Joint Action Committee of SANU and NASA gave instructions for their members to start nationwide protest on Tuesday, July 9th. Details of that and more coming your way after the break. Do stay with us. We are glad to have you back now. For more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share your story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818-6666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate the live updates and comments. Following scale of insecurity ranging from kidnapping, armed robbery, communal clashes, banditry, militia activities, among other violent crimes in various parts of Nigeria, much effort and recognition has not been given to the traditional institution, given its crucial place and importance in our society. Correspondent Gabriel Odia, who filed in this report, takes a look at the importance of traditional institution in crime prevention. The report.
Although the role of traditional institution may not be captured among the 4 types of measures of crime prevention in modern literature, as well as the roles not captured in the Nigerian Constitution in the security architecture of crime prevention and prosecution, but as custodian of culture and tradition of the people with a direct bearing and significance, their roles cannot be downplayed, as they need more recognition to help reduce the incidences of criminality in their domain.
The government can channel its resources through these traditional institutions. I think with enlightenment, we the traditional institution, we are close to the common man.
There are many of these crime prevention strategies that are in the literature. The one that is not in the literature, it is crime prevention through the traditional institution. And so this is what I've adopted. The traditional institution, the chiefs, the traditional rulers are the most closer authority to the people.
The traditional rulers might not be empowered constitutionally or by the laws to arrest and prosecute criminals, but they are a very strong key stakeholder in the security architecture. They are a link between the police and members of the community.
While it is observed that the traditional institution plays a major role in helping to tackle crime in the domain in providing information and security agencies, the security advisor and police public image maker noted that they can do more as state government plans to commence training for them and how they can liaise with police division for optimum result.
The first thing we understand or we expect from every traditional ruler is to work on their attitude first of all. They have to be example to their subjects. And then we teach them methods of policing their communities. We give them backing of government to see that the tradition is being maintained.
Some traditional rulers may not know that the police has an open door for them to come up with ideas, to come up with information, to come up with suggestions that can help police their environment better.
They called on traditional rulers to work in a manner that would entrench values, moral rebuff negative vices towards maintaining peace.
Now to other matters, the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court has directed that a request by former Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, for the transfer of the alleged money laundering case instituted against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to Kogi State be presented in open court. In a letter addressed to Abdulwahab Mohammed San and Musa Yakubu San, the Chief Judge drew the attention of the former Governor's Council to a pending appeal in the case Yahaya Doza Bello vs. FRN, wherein the defendant had sought a consequential order remitting the case to the Chief Judge for reassignment. In the letter signed by Special Assistant to the Chief Judge Joshua Ibrahim Aji Esquire, said as a result of this, it would be improper to take any step that would be tantamount to preempting the outcome of the appeal. According to the letter, it is not proper to take any step that will be tantamount to preempting the outcome of the appeal, adding that the main issue raised is jurisdictional in nature and will be more appropriately decided by the court. The Chief Judge noted that the main offense alleged bordered on conversion of Kogi State Fund to purchase properties in Abuja, and that the filing of the charge could either be in Abuja or Lokoja. Now to the story teased earlier. The Joint Union Committee, JUC, of the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Universities, SANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, has given instructions for their members to start a nationwide protest on Tuesday, July 9th. The directive follows the federal government's delay in paying the 4-month overdue salaries of university workers. Remember that the SANU and NASU leaders held discussions with the Education and Labour Employment Ministers, as well as the National Universities Commission NUC on Thursday, July 4th. The meeting aimed to persuade the unions against initiating a nationwide strike. However, it concluded without reaching an agreement. As per a circular signed by SANU's National President, Comrade Mohammed Haruna Ibrahim, and NASU's counterpart Peters Adeyemi in Abuja, the unions criticized the federal government for lacking a clear commitment to paying the overdue salaries and addressing unresolved issues of the two unions. They were displeased with the government's lack of commitment and have planned a set of industrial actions. These actions including holding branch meetings to raise awareness among members about the government's indifference, followed by a nationwide protest on Tuesday and a national protest in Abuja on July 18, 2024. And still on the strike, health workers in Kaduna State have embarked on a 5-day warning strike which began on 12 midnight on Monday. The industrial action involved members of Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Association of Hospitals and Administrative Pharmacies, and Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists, who are demanding for outstanding allowances, amongst others. Galaxy TV, Bozan Yakusak, sent in this report.
Public hospitals in Kaduna State were assured of themselves on Monday, rendering only skeletal services due to the industrial action by the health workers, with only doctors and laboratory technicians on duty. The health workers embarked on the strike over issues that are yet to be resolved between them and the state government regarding the colonel's salary structure since 2009. The colonel's 2012 and 2013 version that need to be reviewed by the state government and is yet to be attended to, and the 2015 promise by the state government that they would increase the salary.
Since October 2023, we have been pressing home our demands with the government through the Office of the Head of Service. We have been engaging the Office of the Head of Service as regards to our 30% balance of the 2009 CONHES salary, 2009 or 2019. So you can imagine the number of years. And we have been patient. We have been going to the government, telling them the reality of things, pressing our demands.
We wrote them that we have given them the 1 week extension. And we also included it that after the 1 week has expired, we will not give them another notice. But we are going to withdraw our services for 5 days as a warning strike, after which, if nothing is done, we'll now go for the indefinite strike. So what we are demanding is the balance of the 2009 CONHES and then 2023 hazard allowance.
Some of the patients had since been discharged from the hospital as the nurses were on strike and there was no one to take care of them, which brought a lot of emotions and mixed reactions from the patients.
Nothing has been done. When I came, they said the union came and sent away or drive away the staffs. Life is important. I was a unionist. To the highest level. The union is an independent organization formed by workers to defend their interests and promote their welfare. Are they promoting the welfare of the workers and ordinary citizens? So I have never seen this and disappointed.
As you can see, I have a patient in this government hospital called Barao Diko. Some people call it nursing home. But the experience we're having today is a saddening one. That people who doesn't know the purpose for their calling into medical field has actually taken the advantage of their profession and have put a lot of lives into chaos.
The health workers say welfare has been a major challenge, which is why most of their colleagues will rather move abroad for better enumeration and welfare package, leading to brain drain in the country.
The major reason for this brain drain is a result of poor welfare. If the workers are properly taken care of, I don't think they will leave the comfort of their own country to go to another place to render services. But if the workers are being taken care of properly, I think there will be no reason for them to travel out. Most of them will remain here because some of the countries there, the weather is not as friendly as ours, but they tend to withstand that because of what the remuneration they will get while working there.
When contacted, the Permanent Secretary of the State Ministry for Health, Dr. Aishatu Mohammed Sadiq, said that she would officially react to the development on Tuesday.
And still on health-related matters, Lagos State is at the center of a significant cholera outbreak in Nigeria. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC) has said the latest data via the NCDC website stated that as of the week 25, Lagos State registered 104 new cases out of the country's total of 113 reported cases for the week. Reports has it that cholera is a severe diarrheal illness caused by the bacterium Vibrio cholerae. The NCDC said that the outbreak resulted in 7 deaths nationwide, with the case fatality rate (CFR) of 6.1% in the state. It said that Ogun State reported 7 cases, while Katsina had 1 case. The NCDC said in the last month, Lagos State alone reported 533 suspected cholera cases, contributing significantly to the country's total of 576 cases. The agency said other states with reported cases include Ogun 19, Rivers 9, Katsina 8, Oyo 2, Abia 2, Bayelsa 2, and Sokoto 1. It stated that the month also saw 32 deaths across the country with a case fatality rate of 5.6%, significantly higher than the national expected average of 1%, underscoring the severity of the situation. Traffic congestion has been a recurring problem to residents of Lagos, causing frustration and delays for people, especially the working class. Traffic congestion is borne out of high population density, inadequate road infrastructure, and a surge in vehicle ownership. These occurrences is undeniably a waste of productive time because people spend unnecessary time in the traffic. Galaxy News correspondent Labi Joseph has more in this report.
Population growth and urbanization in Lagos has increased demand for transportation infrastructure. The existing road network struggles to accommodate the growing number of vehicles, resulting in congestion. The time people spend in traffic in the state every day is worrisome.
Traffic has been a very serious concern in Lagos State as a whole. Many times I still run into serious traffic situation on the Third Mainland Bridge. And then that eats so much into the time that you are supposed to use to do several other valuable things.
It affects everybody that resides in Lagos. And if we want to talk of traffic congestion or traffic ineffective in Lagos State, it's primarily based on the bad road. The roads are bad, they did not maintain it. Government are just making a promise that can never be fulfilled.
According to the Global Traffic Congestion Rankings 2023 by Traffic Index, Lagos State has the worst road traffic among all cities around the world. Indiscriminate parks created by yellow bus drivers and unruly behaviors of drivers on Lagos roads and display of market wares on walkway has been identified as natural causes of most traffic congestion in the state.
If the offenders are apprehended and prosecuted, at least it will reduce it. Although ordinarily, prosecution of offenders does not really does not completely wipe out crime, but it will reduce it. When somebody wants to park somewhere, he will say, no, I don't want to park there because I don't want to be arrested, apprehended, and then taken to court or whatever.
The impatience of the drivers are the primary cause of that. Even the so-called last month, they have abandoned their primary duty of controlling traffic. They are all after their pockets. You see a last month of 5, 6 of them guarding, pursuing a downfall driver. 6 of them. What are they doing? Even their base, they are paid over there. You will see them guarding, waving driver down, and they will use their camera even to intimidate the drivers. They don't give them money.
Residents of Lagos often spend 30 hours a week in traffic jams averagely, and this could have adverse effect on the health of the people. Therefore, all concerned authorities like LASMA, Environmental Task Force, need to be more decisive with their actions against traffic offenders. From Lagos, this is Lebby Joseph reporting for Galaxy TV News.
Operatives of the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Delta has uncovered a tampered well egg where oil thieves siphon products while also discovering illegal refineries in the Delta communities of Ajasala and Ubkoko communities in Warri South Local Government area of the state. Our correspondent Dele Faso, who was with the Navy Special Force that embarked on the operations as early as 5 a.m., completes the story.
We are here at the NNS Delta jetty where we're about going for an operation in the creeks of Warri South. By my time here, it's just about 2 minutes to 5 a.m. in the morning, and this is the best time, like the NNS Delta commander said, is good for the operation to taking the oil thieves unaware to be able to detect all these illegal refineries.
The about 2-hour journey started at the NNS Delta jetty in Warri, with gunboats leading the way to the creeks, as a local boat owner was arrested with products suspected to be crude oil siphoned from a wellhead, before the big discovery of several wellheads where oil thieves siphon crude oil.
What you see just behind me here is a wellhead where those oil thieves go and temper to be able to siphon crude oil, diesel, and the rest of them, sabotaging the Nigerian economy. But what the Nigerian Navy NNS Delta is doing here today is ensuring that they put a check to all this. That's why we are going all around the creeks.
At the illegal refinery sites in 2 remote creeks, after walking hundreds of meters, where storage tanks and pits filled with stolen crude oil were discovered inside the creeks, and the oil thieves causing environmental degradation by setting the site ablaze before fleeing. Speaking on the discovery, the commander NNS Delta, Commodore Abba Musin, was represented by the base operations officer, Commander Patrick Onojali, said the site was discovered based on credible intelligence, which is in line with Operation Delta Sanity.
Based on credible intelligence, NS Delta Gunboat team discovered illegal refining sites at Warri South of Delta State. The team discovered 45,000 liters of stolen crude oil, 5 storage tanks, 4 ovens, 5 dugout pits, and 1 wooden boat.
He warned oil thieves to desist from illegalities, saying it's no longer business as usual.
The uncovering of this illegal refinery by operatives of the NNS Delta is in line with the mandate of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, in ensuring that Nigeria's territorial waters are safe for business. And this will no doubt keep in check the criminals perpetrating illegalities on these waterways. From the Warri South region, Daily Fason reporting for Galaxy News.
The 6th Division Nigerian Army, in commemorating the 161 years existence, have conducted a free medical outreach at the Comprehensive High School, a community in Eleme local government area of Rivers State. In the course of the exercise, the Army medical team diagnosed and treated scores of beneficiaries, including children, youth and the elderly from the community who gathered at the venue of the exercise. Major General Abdulsalam, who was represented by the Commander 6th Division Garrison Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Edith Effiong, emphasized that the people of Alessa Eleme community have supported the Army in different ways.
This free medical outreach was conceived out of the need, first and foremost, to serve humanity, and also one of the many other activities carried out by the Nigerian Army across our various formations and units as part of our civil-military cooperation. As I speak, similar activities are ongoing across the Nigerian Army formations and units all over the country to mark the Nigerian Army Day celebration 2024.
Brigadier General Effiong, while urging the community people to say something when they see something, assured that the Nigerian Army will continue to foster civil-military cooperation with those communities. In his remark, the paramount ruler of Alessa Eleme, His Royal Highness King Sir Emperor John Emere Nkpe, thanked the Chief of Army Staff for the initiative. Some beneficiaries appreciate the Army for the kind gesture.
The ability of the Army to protect its citizens largely depends on the assistance you render to the Army by way of providing actionable information on bad elements residing amongst you. You will understand that you are at the grassroots, and so you see more than we see, and you hear more than we hear.
Happy to the bottom of my heart. Well, number one thing I have to say is that, one, we should discard the feeling we have about Nigerian Army. Like I said in my palace, the Army have blood and water, like any normal human being. They decided to put this uniform to defend us, to protect the territory of the Nigerian governance. And so we shouldn't be looking at them as the way we have them maybe about 70 years ago. The Nigerian Army today is about 106 years old today, and you can see a lot of differences in their system.
I must commend the Nigerian Army 6th Division for what they have done today. I think these are the things we are expecting from agencies like this. I think this is typical of the community service which we encourage them to do. Especially in the rural area like this, there are a lot of people suffering from different kind of ailments. And I think what they have done today will go a long way.
So good, it's good, it's very, very good. May God bless them. It's very, very good. I feel so good.
So is it what, have you seen things like this before from the Nigerian Army community?
No, we have not been seeing this before. This is the first time we are seeing it. Yes.
We have the eye clinic. Those that have eye issues will be treated. Those that have short sight or long sight, we are going to attend to them. And those that will require further treatment, we will not know what to do for them. Then we have the labs out there, the lab too. We are going to test their blood. We take their blood samples and test to know what is wrong with them. We also have the BP section.
The Ondo State Agricultural Inputs and Supply Agency, ASA, has said that the government has put measures in place to cushion the effect of increasing food prices in the state. The Administrative Secretary of ASA, Adeola Akinyugba, said this in an interview with newsmen on Monday in Akure. Akinyugba said the current administration in the state are taking significant steps to provide agricultural inputs and palliative to farmers across the state, bolstering food security and supporting the agricultural sector. He said also that the state government had committed millions of naira to procure inputs, which the agency had been providing to farmers in the state. According to him, the state has received significant support from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security that provided 30 trucks of fertilizers consisting of 18,000 bags of NPK and urea fertilizer. Akinyugba said that these efforts underscore the collaboration between the federal and state governments to mitigate the impact of petroleum subsidy removal and reduce poverty levels in the country. The need to promote gender equality and give women their rightful place in the Nigerian judicial system was brought to the front burner at Yenagoa at the Bayelsa State capital. This was discussed during a two-day workshop organized by the National Association of Women Judges in Nigeria with the theme Breaking Leadership Barriers for Women in the Legal Profession. Correspondent Dele Fasan has more in this report.
Women no doubt play a major role in the Nigerian economy as well as the day-to-day life of our existence, but their roles have been seen as limited in many areas. Hence the discourse, which was set rolling by the special guest, Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri, who stressed on the qualities of women in every aspect.
We firmly believe that women eminently qualify and are fitted for any position that they have strived to achieve. And we have implemented various initiatives to support women and also ensure that empowerment programs and policies are created to support women.
On their part, the President, National Association of Women Judges in Nigeria, Justice Kurirat Kekere-Ekun, the Bayelsa Chief Judge, as well as the Court of Appeal Presiding Justice in Port Harcourt, said women have contributed immensely in shaping the legal landscape across the globe.
It is therefore imperative to recognize the invaluable role of women in policy making and to strive to ensure their inclusivity in the promotion of policies that are gender sensitive and which provide greater access to justice.
The legal profession is there to appreciate the impact and significance of female jurists and attorneys, regardless of the obstacles placed in the society against women to thrive.
Women, it is very obvious. Claim that you are a woman, do the best that you can do. We cannot be our own enemies or detractors. Therefore, we must forge ahead together. In whatever position we are, we just shared what it means to be a leader. It is not unachievable.
There is no denying the fact that the team breaking the leadership barriers for women in the legal profession is a timely one, as women have risen to the highest court in the land, which is the Supreme Court. But it also believed that it will one day be extended to political leadership to break the gender barriers in Nigeria. From Bayelsa State, Dele Fasan reporting for Galaxy News.
Now we move to the international desk for more news.
This is news from the international scene. A children's hospital has been seriously damaged in Ukrainian capital Kyiv by Russian strikes, as 33 people were killed across the country in an early morning barrage. At least 19 people were killed in Kyiv by the Red Daytime attack, including 2 who died at the Omedate Children's Hospital, Ukraine's biggest pediatrics facility, which sustained major damage during the blast. The head of the military administration in the central Ukrainian city of Kryvyi Rih said at least 10 people have been killed there, with 3 more killed in the eastern town of Pokrovsk and 1 in Dnipro. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who was visiting Poland when he signed the security pact, vowed to retaliate. Lesia Lissia, a doctor at the Children's Hospital, told newsmen the moment the missile struck was like a film with a bright light, then an awful sound. One part of the hospital was destroyed and there was a fire in another. It's really very damaged, maybe 60 to 70% of the hospital, she said. Pictures from the scene showed young children, some with IV drips, sitting outside the hospital as it was evacuated. The doctor said Omatsi is a big hospital which carries out many functions, including cancer treatment and organ transplants. Hospital officials told Ukrainian TV that about 20 children were being treated from the ward which was hit. In the hours after the initial strike, another explosion rocked the area nearby and hundreds of people took shelter in an underpass. Zelensky said in a social media post that people were trapped under the rubble of the hospital. Hundreds of Palestinian families have fled after receiving orders to evacuate several areas of Gaza City. Palestinians in Gaza City say they have experienced one of the most intense Israeli bombardments since Israel launched its war on Hamas after the group's unprecedented 7 October attack. Columns of Israeli tanks are reported to be closing in on the center of the city from several different directions. The Gaza Civil Emergency Service says it believes a number of people have been killed, but has so far been unable to reach them because of fighting in several districts in the east and west of Gaza City. The Al-Ali Baptist Hospital is reported to have been evacuated, with its patients being taken to one of the only medical facilities still functioning in the area, the already overcrowded Indonesian hospital. Ahead of the assault, the Israeli army issued evacuation orders for several neighborhoods in the center of the city. But one of the areas that has come under the most intense assault, Tel Al-Hawa, was not included in an evacuation order by the Israeli Defense Forces IDF Arabic spokesperson on Sunday evening. In the statement, the IDF confirmed that it launched and it called a new operation in Tel Al-Hawa overnight, following what it said was intelligence of Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad infrastructure and fighters in the area. Victory was stolen from them using dirty tricks, Corinne, a French far-right voter, said, as her children played in the background in Essens, a suburb of Bordeaux in France. She couldn't hide her disappointment that the party she backs, the far-right Rassemblement National, came just third in Sunday's parliamentary elections. They were hoping for change in RN government, a French Sylvie added, now that they have to put up with whatever comes next. Until Sunday, this constituency was held by RN's Georges Dufona. He became one of the previous parliament's most famous members after shouting they should go back to Africa as a black colleague talked about a migrant rescue boat in 2022. But Dufona was narrowly defeated by Pascal Gaut, a candidate of the left-wing New Popular Front (NPFP), as part of a shockwave of successes for the alliance. An emotional Gaut responded to the result by saying that the new parliament needed to listen to what the French people want and offer progress and social justice. Still on the international scene, a court in Kenya has awarded 10 million shillings in compensation to the widow of a prominent Pakistani journalist who was shot dead by police at a roadblock nearly 2 years ago. Arshad Sharif was a TV anchor known for his outspoken criticism of Pakistan's powerful military leaders and corruption in politics. The father of 5 received death threats that he flagged to Pakistan's top judge before fleeing his home country to seek safety abroad. Sharif's killing 2 months later at the hands of police in the Kenyan town of Kajiado caused outrage, and the slow response by officials prompted UN experts to criticize both Kenya and Pakistan. Kenya's police had argued it was a case of mistaken identity, but Sharif's widow, Javera Siddiq, said it was a contract killing carried out on behalf of the unnamed individual in Pakistan. On Monday, the Kajiado High Court ruled that the Kenyan authorities had acted unlawfully and violated Sharif's right to life. It duly awarded Siddiq compensation plus interest on due payment in full. Loss of life cannot be compensated in monetary terms, nor is the pain and suffering the family must have gone through. But there is consensus that compensation is appropriate remedy for redress in violation of fundamental right, said Justice Stella Mutuku as she delivered the verdict. The judge also ruled that Kenya's Director of Public Prosecution and the Independent Policing Oversight Authority had violated Sheriff's right by failing to prosecute the 2 police officers involved. The court has ordered both bodies to conclude investigation and charge the officers. Hurricane Beryl has made landfall in Texas with wind gusts of up to 87 miles per hour as authorities warn of life-threatening storm surges. The Category 1 storm is expected to bring destructive winds and up to 15 inches of rain in one heavily drenched Houston area suburb. Police officers began conducting water rescues on Monday morning. The state governor's office has repeatedly urged residents not to underestimate the storm, while oil ports have closed and flight schedules face disruption. Beryl caused at least 10 deaths in the Caribbean before being downgraded to a tropical storm as it hit Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. It was later upgraded again, and more than 1 million Texans were placed under hurricane warning as it approached. The city of Galveston, southeast of Houston, has issued a voluntary evacuation order for some areas. More than 150,000 customers in the Lone Star State were without power just after 7 CST, according to tracking site power outages. However, over 1 million customers have been affected by outages, according to Centerpoint, a local energy provider. At the Bush Intercontinental Airport, the largest in Houston, 973 flights have been cancelled, according to FlightWare. Lastly, on the international scene, more than 130 wild animals, including at least 6 rare rhinos, have died in flooding at a national park in northeastern India, officials say. The Kaziranga National Park in Assam is experiencing its worst deluge in recent years. The dead animals, many of whom died by drowning, include 117 elk deer, 2 sambar deer, a rhesus macaque, and an otter. In 2017, more than 350 animals died due to flooding in the park and vehicle collision during migration through animal corridors to the islands. More than 2 million people have been displaced by the floods in Assam this year. Officials say they have rescued 97 animals from floodwater. 25 of them are receiving medical care, while 52 others have been released after treatment. Kaziranga is home to the world's largest population of one-horned rhinos, which were nearly extinct in the turn of the century. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site with over 2,401 rhinos. The park is also a tiger reserve and home to elephants, whitewater buffaloes, and numerous bird species. The endangered South Asian dolphins are also found in the river that crisscross the park. And that's it from the international scene.